Hi everyone and welcome back to Googie's Kitchen. My name's Alexis and today I wanted to show you how to make my delicious red pepper and tomato pesto. I want to show you how to make my delicious red pepper and tomato pesto, but before I do, if you are new to my channel, then hello and welcome. It's lovely to have you here, and if you love cooking videos and you want to see more, then I upload every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 AM, so please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. As I just mentioned, today I want to show you how to make my delicious red pepper and tomato pesto. And I know I say this in a lot of my videos, but this one is really simple to do. It does take a long time, the process takes a while, but the results are delicious. And we love having this. This has been a staple in our house for quite a few years now. Since I gave up sugar and processed food, I stopped eating things from jars like pesto and I started to make my own, and I found that I really enjoyed it. So if you are thinking about starting to make your own pesto, then I say go for it. Just experiment and see what happens. This one, some of them haven't turned out brilliantly, but this one is definitely one of our favourites. So I thought I'd share the recipe with you today. So here is my red pepper and tomato pesto. So the first thing I'm going to do is just preheat my oven to 200 degrees. I'm also going to pop a baking tray into the oven as well and let that heat up while the oven's preheating. So the oven has preheated and now I'm going to chop up my pepper. So I'm going to remove the core from the pepper and I'm going to quarter this. I've also taken the baking tray out of the oven, and what I'm going to do is put all of these bits into the baking tray now. So I'm going to quarter this pepper. Big chunky bits is fine because it's all going to be food processed anyway. So I'm just going to cut those up and put those into the baking tray and do the same with this one as well. And then what I'm going to do is put in my tomatoes, and I'm going to leave them on the vine as well because I find the flavours nicer when I leave them on the vine. And then I was meant to put about 4 cloves of garlic in, but unfortunately I've been left with one, so I'm putting that in. So I'm just going to drizzle some olive oil over the top of that now. And then I'm also going to put a couple of pinches of salt onto the tomatoes and the peppers as well, because I find that that brings out the flavour in both of these ingredients. It's really nice. The tomato and salt brings out the sweetness. The salt brings out the sweetness in tomatoes when you add it like this. And now I'm going to put this back into the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until the tomatoes sort of split on top and the juice is coming out of them. That's how you know when it's done. Turn the oven off and the tomatoes have finished cooking and everything is looking lovely and golden brown now. As you can see, the tomatoes have split down the side and the juice is running out, so that means they're done. And this is very hot, so I'm going to go and put this down now. I'll start making the pesto in a moment. I've left the peppers and the tomatoes to cool for a little while. So while they're cooling, I thought I'd start boiling the pasta. Oh, you've all steamed up there, sorry about that. So I've got enough pasta to feed 4 of us, so I'm going to put this into my boiling water and I'm going to put the lid back on. And I'm going to bring this to the boil and then I'm going to cook it as per the packet instructions. Now this is red lentil pasta, so it's a bit different to ordinary pasta, and the reason I have red lentil pasta is because I have a gluten intolerance. So I'm going to leave the lid on until it starts to boil again, and then I'll take it off and leave it to simmer. But I'm going to cook that, as I said, as per the packet instructions. While the pasta is boiling, as I said, I'm going to be making the pesto. So I'm going to take the stalk from the tomatoes and I'm going to put that into my food processor. You can use a blender as well if you want to. I'm going to take the skin from the garlic as well. So I'm just going to remove the skin from this garlic. And I'm going to put that in as well. And I'm going to add the peppers. So I left this to cool, so I took it out of the oven and I left it to cool, and it's completely cool now. You don't have to leave it as long, it just makes it a bit easier when you're putting it into the food processor. And then I've got 100 grams of cashew nuts. You can use pine nuts if you want to, but I find that cashew nuts make it taste that little bit cheesier. So that's why I like to use cashew nuts. And then I've got 80 mils of olive oil as well, so I'm just going to add that in. And I've also got a handful of basil as well, which I'm going to put in. And you can use parmesan if you want to as well. I'm not a big parmesan fan, so I'm just going to leave it like this. All I'm going to do is add the lid, and I'm going to blend this probably for about 2 minutes. I've blended the pesto until everything's chopped up and small, and then I'm going to add this to my pasta once it's cooked. My pasta is cooked and I've taken it off the heat and I've drained it, and I've put the pesto in the bottom of the pan, and what I'm going to do now is add the pasta to the pesto and just give that a stir around. And that is it. That's dinner done. So yeah, I'm going to serve myself a bit in a minute, but I just wanted to say you can also make this with a salad, like a green leaf salad as well if you want to. That's quite nice, and it's really nice cold in the summer as well. So if you wanted to make it on a hot summer's day in the morning and then have it in the evening, that's probably the best way to do it, I'd say. So I'm just going to try a little bit of this pasta now. That was really good. You can, as I said, add parmesan as well if you want to. I have put it in the recipe as optional, but the cashew nuts do make it taste quite cheesy. They're quite a creamy flavour, cashew nuts, and they do taste a little bit like cheese when you grind them up. So yeah, so that is our dinner done. So that's how you make my delicious red pepper and tomato pesto, and as I said, I'm going to be enjoying this with a lovely green salad this evening, and I will link this recipe in the description box below for you too. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below. Do you enjoy making your own pesto, and what sort of pesto do you like making? I'd love to know, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.